is this feeling that has brought you to me? Do you know what I'm talking about? The Matrix.
Welcome. Now, February is a big month. There's a lot going up to go down and down to go up. We've got the planetary alignment at the end of the month. Why we're here today, the 2-2 portal. This full moon in Leo. The high priest in this deck. Yeah, I gotta get it straight in every single one. The high priest. This is knowledge gained within the material world through organized religion, through some sort of structure that is already here, but expanding it through yourself. There's a shift in perception here. Because you saw something in the dark, something in the lower world within yourself, your lower chakra centers, your survival centers, but they are connected to your truth. They're part of your truth. But you're expanding with the sun. You're expanding your consciousness, putting light to what is dark, with some sort of knowledge in order to understand everything, to understand God, to understand the all. And it happened through a purification with the Father, with fire. Ash. There's a connection to ash. And this allowed you to surrender to your journey and release control. And that was hard for you, but this is like being put in a place where you have no choice. Because the message that's connected to this, the hangman where you have no choice but to expand with Christ consciousness through your negative situations, your negative perceptions. You have no choice but to find the positive, and it has to do with the sun and the star and the time that we're in. And think about the star. There's so much symbolism surrounding the star. There's the North Star, your destiny. You've even seen that like coming together on the twin flame quest and path. Then there's the star in Bethlehem with Jesus. The star in Pinocchio, wishing upon a star. That's another one I can think of. There's hope. This is about hope. An elevation with hope. Of love. And expanding with your truth. Literally expanding with your truth. From your root chakra to your crown. Because the hunted has become the hunter. Track down your fears and desires through the fires of God, the purification with the Father, with the fire, with the flame. It has made you stronger, stronger than your fears, stronger than your desires. You're moving with God here. And now you're tracking down your fears. Now you're tracking down your desires. And this is restoring your confidence with the Father. But this happened through a sacred, lustful experience. You honor this. You're honoring that this is making you whole. It's so funny. Apparently, we've been showing this card for some time now, but apparently this card caused some controversy that this card is lustful. And it's so hilarious that they took down the reading and it had to be reposted here. But some of the things that I have seen on social media lately especially are so lustful. And we're talking about sacred lust, and that message got taken down and I had to redo it properly. Because apparently showing this card is lustful. Okay, so you're all things, you're whole. You needed to have this key. Where's the key? See the key with the moon? This is about illuminating the dark. And remember, there's degrees of dark. There is what you would perceive as good dark, positive dark, and negative dark, right? Evil. There's degrees of dark. But this is having a sacred, lustful experience because you are tracking down your fears and desires. So in order to do that, you had to have this sacred experience to get the key. To now expand with the light, with the sun. There's an illumination here. And this illumination came from knowing God. This is the sacred geometry of the tetragrammaton. Of knowing God. There's a pineal gland activation. There is an apple cut open here with seeds within it, and there is a baby that has the key. Now, the inner child knows the way. There's an illumination with the sun. Now, within the sun, within the tarot, that is the inner child. That is working with your solar plexus. That is having more power from within than without, with your personal will, with your energy. That is also healing with those energy centers that are within this center. It's healing with the organs within this center. And moving the energy up the spine, up the kundalini to have enlightenment within your pineal gland where you house God. And this is all happening through a purification. You learn how to purify the body to care for your pineal gland. And get back to your natural circadian rhythm. You start to cleanse your being from toxicity within your environment, within foods, people, places, things. Okay. And as this restores your confidence with the sun and this full moon in Leo, this 2-2 portal is shifting you from here to here. Because as we talked about last time we met up, you're done keeping up appearances. You're done. It was time for you to recharge with the Father. And the element of air gave you a solution to that. And it was time for you to heal with competitiveness. Heal with your solar plexus. And get back to your natural self. Okay? But in order to do so, you took a fall. Because, right, what goes down goes up. In your lower chakra center to your upper. Now, if you notice, when you get here, you're not keeping up with appearances. Look at the appearance. Look at going from here. The old institution of relationships that divine feminine and masculine said that they would come here and expand from to the old to the new. This is programmed. This is keeping up appearances. It's not authentic. It's damaging your solar plexus. So you're no longer keeping up with appearances. You put an end to something with your truth through the sacred lustful experience. And now you talk to God and you've released control and you've now been through so much pain, so much struggle as you've been in this quicksand that God made you stronger than the quicksand. And you're leaving the quicksand and now you're tracking down your fears and your desires. And you're going here and you're going through here through the cup and your connection to God as you expand your soul with spirit, where you're formless here. You've gone beyond this world. But when you get here, look at your appearances. You're no longer keeping up with appearances. And trust me, as I look at myself right now, I understand this. Because I almost didn't make this message today as I looked at my own appearance. But heck to the yes, this isn't about me, and this is about expanding past that. And we're not here for that. This is about being authentically yourself. You're not in the programs anymore. You've been burned by the fire of the Father. You release control. You understand something here that is restoring your confidence, okay? Let's get an activation. You see something of the light. Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. When you move the energy up the spine. Oh, we have a card. Let's just see. It's not flipped over. Chamber of the Violet Flame. Karmic Release. Radical Transformation. So you're literally transporting through this portal, through the Hangman, from the Hangman to the Four of Pentacles. You're shifting through the mind by expanding with Christ consciousness, which is the positive charge. As above, so below, so within as without, connections to heaven and earth through the stargate of your heart. I just think talking about in the Hermetic principles, we're just talking about, like you hear a lot in the spiritual community, there's no devil without, there's no Satan without. If there's a devil within, there's a devil without. Let's clear it up within so we can elevate more without, right? Gotta get those demons doing jumping jacks, like Eminem says, right? Get them doing jumping jacks and working out, get them working. But working with the light, and how do you do that? What's the light? Love. It's not two negatives make a running battery. It's a negative with a positive. You put love in the dark. You put compassion there. Like, there is an emotional intelligence put here when you do this work. It's like when you shine the light on the shadows, when you shine the light on the dark, when you shine the light on even what is evil, there's a stem there. There's a stem there back to love. There's a stem there back to source. And you can see how it got twisted. And you untwist it. And you put through compassion, through kindness, tolerance, compassion, and all those things. And you see how all these programs, these artificial programs, have created so much suffering, especially within the mind. And it's moving beyond that. It's living beyond these programs and having the strength enough to be authentic to do so, because that's already within you. Like, these desires are already within you. That's how you got here. But it's having the courage to act on them, to live with them. It's having the courage to be your authentic self in a world where people are not. Where people are still feeding their egos, where people are still afraid of authenticity, where people have been hiding with truth just for millennia, from trauma, for what has happened. Like, look, people have been burned at the stakes for knowledge and wisdom, and you had to play into what you had to play into. But those times have changed. Can't be scared of the future, but it's happening in the present moment. Don't get your energy siphoned. Stay in the present moment. Okay. Well, you are karmic board clearing, energetic clearing. Rewrite your story, live your truth. That's what you're doing. And then there is one landed here. These landed here. So let's see. We have a third eye activation, brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. So you're having a third eye activation. Of course you are, because you're moving the energy up the spine. You're talking to God. You're having enlightenment. You're seeing. What are you seeing? Venetian Galactic Council, star being guides, answer the call. It's time for you to shine. And yes, this full moon is in Leo. It's time for you to shine. Halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. So you're learning your lessons here on planet Earth. Shambhala, initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting the process. Dharma, look, you got to go and recharge with God and trust the process. You got to trust all this. Look, it's time for you to trust all this. It's like, look, you're in the midst of your transformation, and things are getting harder, or things are seeming bleak, but that's part of it. Don't give up. Don't give up yet. Keep going, because it's about the patterns you're laying out. And when you're really close, that's when it comes for you even more. But know that, and keep going. It's like you start feeling like there's no end. But there is. And I'm saying this together as one. We're doing this together. Okay? Thoth light codes, light initiation, great teacher awakening, divine magic. Well, something is happening here. It's happening here because you're with God. Well, let's go to the Moon Oracle. Before we go to the Moon Oracle, let's get our information here, because I feel like this is very important. Thoth, also known as Tehuti, is the ancient Egyptian abyss-headed god of writing, divine magic, and the moon. Acknowledged as the sacred scribe who created writing, he is considered to be the great mind behind the hieroglyphics and the maintainer of the Egyptian universe. It is said he was the priest king of Atlantis and was dedicated to leading the Atlantean people in a loving way that was firm but fair. There's a few theories of how this civilization ended. This gateway, and that Thoth now has been waiting for this time to work with us. This gateway takes you to a space where you can connect with the energetic frequency that Thoth carries. As a master teacher of the stars, he holds space for you to connect with some of your greatest gifts from this lifetime and the many others you've lived. Primarily teaching spiritual integrity, and he's working alongside a powerful congregation of evolved souls, the ascended Atlanteans, to guide those who are ready to increase their awareness. He specializes in helping Those who are finding it difficult to make spiritual progress to rise above the aspects of their life that are holding them back and helps to awaken the teacher within. Your message, you are going through a powerful set of light initiations at this time, and these are preparing you to lead and teach from a powerful space of love. And that's the key piece of information, a powerful space of love. In order to complete the process, there will be a release of old ideas and limiting stories. But this is necessary for you to connect with the true power within you. Don't be concerned by the intensity of the energies that surround you right now. Facing shadow parts of yourself and your story is essential for connecting with divine magic, and evolved beings of light are there to lead the way. If you have any concerns or fears at this time, know that when fear gets loud, it's because you're on the cusp of something extremely powerful. There we go. Everything we just talked about. Now, let's talk to the Moon Oracle. There's a connection to the sword and your principles. And we also broke that down last time we met up. There's a compromise with the father, with Knight, and that's working with your inner child right there. Look, your inner child has a truth. Your inner child knows the way. This is nurturing. This is nurturing with truth. This is love. This is restoring the economy of the new world. This is building the economy of the new world. What is the sun? It's the connection to the inner child. It's the connection to innocence. When you put light on the dark, when you expand from lust with love, this is putting the innocence back within the economy. And there it is. That's part of sword. That's part of your truth. That's part of the mission. That's part of the expansion. And that's how you're getting to the 10 of Cups. Your fulfillment with the water, with the mother, with emotional intelligence, with being able to move the energy and transform with it. And concession, remember we talked about also last time we met out that something is awarded or given up in order to end an argument, in order to end some sort of drama within the element of air. And you did so. That was this done with this fake as fuckery, keeping up with appearances, and you being authentic. And you being authentic isn't being perfect, and it isn't fitting into the programs. It's fitting into God's world, which is authentically yourself, which is the real true world. And seeing through the illusion of these artificial programs telling you who to be. That's why, and what to do, and how to think, and where to go, and siphoning your energy and taking. And you're never getting to your destination. These artificial programs are designed to keep you in loops, not getting to your destination and then feeling guilt and shame that you're not getting there, and feeling guilt and shame because then you act up and act out and start pleasure seeking because you're really longing for this long-term, for happiness, for your serotonin releases. You're, feeling serotonin, and you're just getting your dopamine hits. The sun really asks you to step out of the shadows and not be afraid to be seen and shine. But like a child, before you had self-confidence issues, and you had this, you had an awareness to all your what you think are flaws, and that really these artificial programs have created anyways. And, before you were just naturally a child that just was naturally yourself and played and didn't think about it. You just were naturally your authentic self, just like dogs. They're just them. They're not worrying about being them. They just are them. There's an innocence restored. There's a piece of innocence restored in your authenticity that heals yourself and frees yourself and allows you to move differently with action, with the Father, with force, with fire. From what has happened here with God. And it's through having this compromise with the inner child. You have to restore balance and come to sort of compromise with the inner child. You are this and that. And you are learning how to balance all things. And no, it's not easy. You're becoming superhuman. It's not supposed to be easy. That's why not everybody's doing it. But see, look, Aquarius wants to do things that not everybody's doing. That is Aquarius. If everybody's going this way, Aquarius is going that way. Aquarius loves people that march to the beat of their own drum, because they're marching to the beat of their own drum. And Aquarius knows better than anyone that time alone is not loneliness. It's solitude with God and doing your work with yourself. And that time alone with God allows you to be logical in an illogical sense with God. It does restore the balance. When you're just with you and God, everything alchemates and everything changes differently. When you start, you're around a whole bunch of other people, you're not alchemating the same. There's some food for thought there. Okay, as the moon's light diminishes to form a thin crescent facing towards the right, as you look at it, the moon reaches its seed state. There's a sense of storing for the future during this phase, which is an almost prophetic quality. You sense that something outside of your own self-interest is taking place. Moon in Leo. This sign is happier than Aries with the waiting game, and the natural Leo talent for creativity, visualizing future projects will come into its own during this period. And this is about your abundance, because at the end of the day, the Sun card is the gift of your abundance in all things, including love. All right. Much love. Until next time, I'm sending it to you, those good healing vibes. I look forward to seeing you when we expand off this. Until then, take care.